All right, ladies and gentlemen, everyone around and in between, this is DebateSensei. We are talking about debate as a game right now. Tim has a client, and by client, I mean a cat that he has to bathe. And so, uh, if anyone has bathed a cat before, you know that that is an ordeal. And yeah, so
There's more than one way.
yeah. All right. So we're doing debate as a game again today. So we've done this a number of times, and I wanted to. I made a slight change, one letter from debate is a game to debate as a game. And I wanted to kind of explain why, and I don't know,
I don't
just
know.
a little 5 minutes, and then we're going to talk, and then we're going to have a game of debate. All right. So it's a game called Debatable, but I think a debate is a game. A lot of people say that like in competitive debate, and I've been starting to call it more like an exercise rather than a game.
Why?
Okay. Uh,
Actually, first question: what is exercise mean?
I mean, it's sort of a process that you like a disciplined process that you do to develop and hone abilities. Right?
Okay, and then what's the game? What's game mean?
So game means that there is points and a winner and a loser, uh, and while you can have that, you could still have the if you want it. I wanted to emphasize the sort of the skills building part of it, and yeah, we're using that. But the game thing, I was hoping, like, especially for competitive debate, for so many people, debate is just more than that. And I wanted to, allow that space for it to be larger than a game. Because like the saying that it's just a game also exists and is very popular.
May I?
Yeah.
May I completely disagree with you? Let's just go with. I'll accept your definitions.
Yeah.
I might tweak them a little bit, but I like what you said. An exercise is practicing a skill, or I don't remember
Yeah.
your exact words. I'm sorry, but something to that effect. And I would say that that's true. Debate is a skill, or or whatever public speaking event you're doing. There's lots of skills that come into to bear to like get good at those things. And then I'd say a game is like the moment that the competition starts and you're in the round and there are points and you do want to win. And I think to your second point, I'll get off of this. You kind of made the point to say when someone says something's just a game, there is a stigma that means it's some light, small, insignificant thing.
Yeah.
And I would disagree. And I'd say sometimes games are light and insignificant, and it's playing, rock, paper, scissors to see who gets the front seat. And sometimes a game is worth $100 million in a 5-year contract and is very business. I'm joking about like sports, but I also mean that just because something is a game, last thing is this: games are fun. And I think debate is fun. I do believe like one of the essences of why we do this stuff is because it's fun. It's not because we have to. It's not because you,
Well, see,
you have a whatever. So because of that, I think the game. I do believe part of a game is it's a fun game. You go there for your own voluntary, volition. Sorry.
Yeah, and so that's kind of part of it too, where it's sort of like, yeah, sometimes it's not fun, and you're doing
exercise is not fun.
Yeah, exercise is not fun. And I think that's kind of at the heart of where I was getting with this was that, we try
It's a struggle,
but even when you're not having fun, like go lose on purpose, like you know what I mean? It's
people you'll get humbled, right? This is a lot of times you're the smartest kid in your class all through elementary school and this and that, and then you get to a debate room and all of a sudden you start realizing, maybe there's people who know more than you, there's people who speak better than you, there's things wrong with me, you know what I mean? And so that's humbling. And games are humbling because when you get 0 points, you feel bad. Okay, but the game is also just being there, showing up, knowing you can lose, knowing you can win, knowing you didn't practice enough and you're still gonna try. Whatever. I mean, or you did. It's if you soul crush yourself and just overload. That teaches you a lot about life. Games teach you about life, and humbling experiences are a part of life. So,
But for this one, it's like it's not even a metaphor. It's like we are playing a game called
this is a
Debate.
lighthearted game that
Yeah,
you play at
this
a
is
coffee
like
table with drunk friends.
I have
Right.
no problem calling this
Let's
debate
zoom out
a
of the
game. Yeah,
how
yeah,
serious a game can be
yeah,
and go back to games are trivial and meaningless. We're
yeah.
gonna play one online for you right now.
Yeah, I think like you can put it in that frame, but sometimes like I want to look at the activity of debate
Yeah.
as an exercise, and maybe a
Right.
single round could be a game, or a single one-offs can be games, but participating in debate is like you are exercising. You are
Yeah,
exercising.
you're vocalizing. If someone says something you don't agree with, you're not just gonna not say anything. The debate, I think, at the crux of it is just kind of like proving a point that's different than somebody else's, and not proving it. Maybe it's a bad choice of words, but voicing it and trying to voice it in a persuasive way.
Okay, so we're doing debatable. We've played this game before, so we're gonna be playing it again, but I forget the rules. I don't know about you.
I
So
don't remember the rules.
all right, so let's go over these, okay?
Yeah.
First, choose who will be the dealer for the first round. Flip a coin, draw straws, or wrestle. We can't wrestle.
Our
So
game, yeah, this game is floating in the blackness of space, so
yeah,
we're gonna hope the alien gods,
yeah. So after each round, the roll will shift clockwise. So we'll just go back and forth. I'll start it off. The players sitting to the immediate left and right of the dealer are the debaters in this. Oh no, we're gonna do a random one. Okay. Oh yeah,
Right.
we need one more person. Okay, so having a third person is actually we can deal with this. We can
That's
do it.
debatable.
Yeah. So the dealer selects a card at random.
The alien gods are gonna select the cards.
Yeah. This
So we
card
have our
is
third persons.
this card is the debate topic. Individually, all judges then secretly write down their opinion. Oh, okay. Okay. We can
You
do
all
that.
are the judges. All
Yeah,
700 million of you watching right now
yeah.
are the judges.
So, but that's good. Like, I want, we'll totally do that for anyone in the comments. Like in the
Right.
comments, if you
And
are,
these new pre-recorded videos now, this is officially the first time I felt dumb not having our viewers with us because it's fun to have that live feedback. But let's get to it. Yeah.
So the dealer then selects a card at random. This card is the debate topic. The judges write down their opinion on the matter, which side they agree with, and keep it hidden. Okay. Oh, but there's still other stuff. If the dealer then holds the card in the air and drops it, if the pink side lands up, the player on the right. Oh, so we'll just say me. I'll be pink and you could be orange. All right. If the pink side lines up, the player gets to choose which opinion they will argue in favor of. If it's orange, you will pick what side of it you want to be on. Okay.
Okay.
So the choosing player leads off the debate. The other player is left to argue for the opposing view. The first player then gets one statement to make their argument. By the way, the length of the statements are up to the group. We suggest something short, as long as you want. All right, like so, as long as you
Okay.
want. Yeah.
Big boy.
Our up to the group, we suggest something short, like 15 seconds. You could go longer than.
We got 30 minutes here. I think everyone will understand.
If you guys like to filibuster, have at it.
Yeah.
The opposing player gets the same amount of time for a statement of rebuttal, also known as why that other player is wrong. Afterwards, the first player gets one last short statement to address the rebuttal. Now, the second player gets to state their argument following the same structure as before. So we get one constructive, one rebuttal each.
Okay.
All right. Each judge then announces who they thought won the debate and reveals their original opinion that they wrote down.
Ooh.
If the judge's mind wasn't changed, a point is awarded to both players. All right, so in the comments, everybody, you got to we're going to give you time to write. You got to write down which side it is, and then you got to put who you thought won. Okay.
Really quick, let me make sure I understand. The judge, they see the resolution and the two options, and they select one from their heart, and then after our debate, they say whether or not.
No. Each one of these cards. So there's a bunch of cards. I'm going to select a card at random. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip that card randomly, and whichever side lands up is the side who gets to choose. You are orange, I am pink. And so as soon as we see that topic, you get to choose what side of the topic you
Okay.
are on. All right, got it. And so you give you a couple minutes to think it over about what arguments you're going to make, and then I have to choose. I have to be the opposite side if it's orange, or vice versa if it's pink. Right?
Let's do it.
All right. So here we're going to do. We're going to remove that. We're going to do this guy right here. This is orange. That's you.
Oh, this is great. What is the correct way to pronounce caramel or caramel?
Yeah, caramel.
Caramel.
Or caramel.
Okay, and I get to select the answer that I would like to argue.
Yeah. So first off, anyone
because it's orange, I am the orange team, and that is orange.
Yeah. Which is kind of like they could have chosen better.
Okay, I'm not going to need 2 minutes for this one.
Colors.
All right, I'm ready. I'm ready now. This is not going to be my longest round here. I'm going to go with answer X. No, caramel. That's how you say it, and it's because let me say why. I'm an American from Southern California. And our language here is bastardized from all over the world, okay? But it's short, it's succinct, and caramel is the shortest, and that's why I believe that's the answer.
Okay. Caramel sounds like you're mumbling. Sounds like you're not, like you can't, it gets all garbled together, and so having that extra syllable in between helps to distinguish it as a word. It sounds because otherwise the R and M together is arm. It's like arm, right? Caramel.
Right.
All right. Now, do you have a rebuttal?
I have my rebuttal. I cannot wait to give my rebuttal. You are, in the English language that I know, right? There is no reason looking at the spelling of CARMEL to include an between the R and the M. That is where I'm going to start and stop with my rebuttal. Simply saying, you aren't saying the word in front of you. You've invented your own word, and that's the word you've decided to say because you think it sounds less mumbly.
There are ways, if you're talking about, okay, so caramel is like caramel by the sea, right? And so I'm going to say that it is misspelled on this freaking card.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You are leaving the game altogether in the first round. Jared is like, get Webster in here. How many different...
So first off, the only reason that there would be a debate about this is because you're talking about the food, because people don't call caramel by the sea caramel by the sea, because that would sound like candy, right?
Right.
So there is no debate about the location. The only debate that exists is about the candy. So they're spelling it wrong to induce this debate.
Well, there you have it. It's up to you. Who's right? Is it me who is right or Jared who is not? Simple as that. Orange team wins. But, go ahead and use your own mind, use your own judgment.
Okay, so there's another part of this, though, okay?
Yeah.
So this is where strategy and knowing your opponent. The dealer tabulates the points. Casual mode first. Oh, there's a casual mode first. Get some drinks.
I have the freshest H2O money can buy.
This is very important. Now drink them.
I drank.
You're doing great so far. Now,
I did it.
Sit around with your friends and randomly pick a card, announce it to the group, and discuss it loudly and passionately. All right. This is where strategy is important if you're not drinking. Okay. If you're pretty sure that the judge thinks that the edge pieces of brownies. Oh, this is the example, right? Are the best. You may choose.
Know your audience. Is that what they're trying to say?
Yeah. So if you know your judges, then you can choose to like what side based on what the judges think. The dealer tabulates the points awarded to each player. Play continues until. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I think it was the other game that had the little component where if you agreed with it and people have to determine whether or not you actually agreed with the position. But since you get to choose, I think that's not this game. I think it's the game Argue. Remember the board game that we did?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Anyways, let's
next question, please.
Yeah. All right. That's
debatable.
Okay, here we go. Oh, here we go. Oh, you get to choose again.
Aha. Most irrational fear as a kid. Random quicksand, the Bermuda Triangle. I'm going to say quicksand. Again, this is based partially on location. Like I live in Southern California. I've not heard any quicksand news recently, so I think that goes to the irrationality of it. I think there probably are places on the earth that you need to very seriously worry about quicksand, and it wouldn't be irrational then. Whereas the Bermuda Triangle is objectively true as a place where things disappear, and there's no disputing that, no matter what scientists tell you. And for that reason, I think random quicksand is irrational when in Southern California or in a location that it does not exist.
Yeah, the Bermuda Triangle has no more missing vessels than anywhere else in the world.
Do you have statistics for that? Do you have statistics for that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just kidding. You don't need to. We're debating this in a drinking setting.
Yeah, and
Water.
I mean, if any child saw a flash flood with mud and debris, that I think is at least a rational sort of association with quicksand. They're like, oh my God, that quicksand.
Redefining quicksand mid-round. I see. Okay. So a giant tsunami of mud and water is a quicksand? I don't think so, man. That is not.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
According to who? I lose. I interrupted your argument. I think that's how that works.
I interrupted you. So
no. Well, yeah.
Look. We're supposed to be drinking right now. We have not lost yet. You can say that was our rebuttal because we said it all in order. I disagree with quicksand. Quicksand is that magic stuff on the ground that looks like sand, but when you stand on it, it sinks. That's quicksand.
Yeah, I do have.
I didn't define. I should have. It was my bad.
You're just winning this one. I think you're just winning this one. Oh,
all right. I think you. I mean, now leaving the round here, there is a chance, from what I understand, that the Bermuda Triangle is just a series of 3 dots that have no significance at all, except sailors for years thought things disappear.
All right. We got, should video games be considered a sport? That's kind of along the lines of whether or not debate's a game.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. Yeah.
And, okay. I'm going to say no. Video games should not be considered a sport. I'm thinking, yeah, I mean, they are games. Like they're called games, and I think games come with the sort of understanding that they are still competitive, and that like we don't call chess a sport. It's still a game, and people make money doing it professionally. So you don't need to make professional money in order to do it. It's a game.
Yeah. I disagree. First of all, it's a sport. I guess there is an element of physicality to chess or video games in the same light, where it's not generally. I'd say obviously the physicality in a video game is way more than chess. Let's start there.
Okay.
You need to manipulate buttons with your hands, most likely. Hopefully, I mean, we are getting farther into the future. I'm sure there are people who are like quadriplegic, paralyzed, who can still operate a game somehow. I don't know how that would work. I don't know that exists. I hope it does. But in the general understanding of what a video game is, there's a physicality component. There's definitely a like reaction time component. There's a lot of skills that are involved that require hand-eye coordination, and for that reason, I think it's a sport.
Okay, so my argument would be that would be infinitely regressive, right? That if we're going to have language with words that mean something and are useful, there needs to be some distinction between what a game and a sport is. Otherwise, the standards that you just used, everything would be considered a sport and nothing would be considered a game.
I would say debatable is not a sport because you don't necessarily need any physicality. I guess you need to be able to use your mouth. But if I had the ability to even just eye track and write things down, we could still do this. I guess you'd still need. Okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying that like. Okay. Let me explain something. I think reaction time. I think a lot of the skills required for a video game.
Well, yeah, like
they are very much physically some people's genetics and raising have made them better than other people. You know what I mean? Like, and
Mhm.
because of their quickness, because of their reaction time, because of their acuity or something like that. So, yeah, that's my rebuttal.
Yeah, good stuff. Very interesting. I like that. Man, I hope people jump in on it.
Let
All
us
right.
know what you
Yeah.
think. That's the most important one we've discussed today, I think.
Okay. Next one's pretty good here. Let's see what we got here.
Jared, hot take Jared day. Yeah. Oh, this is a good
Um,
one.
yeah, it is kind of good. Um, enjoying it while you can. I'm going
Okay,
for that
just
one.
for the context of anyone who's like listening to this or something like that, there's two options. There's no question this time. It's a different format, but it says
Yeah.
investing money for the future versus enjoying it while you can. Jared is going with enjoying it while you can. Go ahead.
Like, so first off, what this means is like if you have a forced choice,
Yeah.
which one should you do? All right.
Right.
Like, because you can do both of it. You can enjoy some of it,
Mm-hmm.
and you can invest some. So let's focus only on when you have like a forced choice, or it's like, hey, I got this pot of money. Should I invest it or should I use it right now?
Yeah.
And I think you should enjoy it, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. And yeah, and using it for like if you're somebody, you come into some cash, it's like spread it around. All
Yeah.
right, like don't squirrel it away.
Yeah, I think the version of myself about 15 years ago would have agreed with you, but I think I'm telling you now, I would try to invest money for the future because uh, you're going to do so much enjoying. You're going to realize like life's not just about enjoying the money while you have it. Maybe life's
Mhm.
about other things, about, bigger things. If you want a family someday, if you want to retire one day, if you want to not work one day, then, you better keep an eye on the future because although we all can die tomorrow, it's a dangerous way to live every day of your life, okay? Like so assuming you don't die and assuming, the people around you are around that you want to be around and things like that, I think it's a good. They will look to you with strength and as a solid rock if you have invested in your future and you've accounted for the days ahead. And so you can enjoy them because you're going to want to enjoy them too.
All right. So my rebuttal, I just want to remind you that we're only talking about when you're kind of like, which one are you prioritizing?
Right.
So it's not necessarily one or the other. It's like which one gets a higher priority. So if you get, if you're forced to choose about investing some money or using it right now, that would
Yeah.
be a situation where you prioritize it, or even like you could even spread it to like where do you spend most of your money or the overwhelming majority of it. You should prioritize here and now, because even investments aren't guaranteed. I mean,
Right.
like my pension. I know I'm seeing people right now who, they're seeing their pensions get cut because they thought that was a guaranteed investment, and it's not.
I think Jared's enjoying it while you can is the mantra for every cokehead meth drug addict in on earth. So, unless if you want to be a deadbeat drug addict, toothless on the side of the road somewhere, enjoy it while you can.
It's fun. You know what I noticed is that like once you get into the second level, it gets a little bit more pointed.
All right.
I mean, just like a competitive debate in college, you start off kind of a little timid, you're feeling each other out, and then you really go for the jugular in rebuttals. You know what I mean? So this is great. This is great. I think this is a
It's
good.
kind of a modified rebuttal because you'll say something that I haven't responded to yet. So it's anything that I think of at that point is pretty much off my original. It can be off the original. I've noticed that like from the first one. I was like, okay, I'm going to go into this rebuttal with a completely new argument.
Yeah,
But so in debate, you're not supposed to do that. But
yeah,
in here, well, there are times you can, by the way.
yeah.
But it's only in this exact situation where the neg or whoever has the last constructive says something new that has not been able to be discussed, which is kind of bad. You try to avoid that, but you can bring those up in rebuttals.
All right, you get to choose this one.
Oh. Expiration dates. Iffy 2 days before, good for a week after. Man, I'm gonna say something, and you're gonna hate my answer. My answer is My answer is there's such a grander concept here because 2 days before they really pigeonholed me. But I'll say iffy 2 days before is my side, and I
So
think
you're on the side of caution. You're
right
like,
on the side of caution, and I'm going to say
fine.
I'm going to say a couple of things, and you're gonna hate me for it. All right. Iffy 2 days before, I'm going to define as keep mind of those expiration dates. And I'm going to say that not all food is the same. Last night, I ate a can of beans that are 15 years old, and they were fine. But if you're eating certain food, if you have sushi from the other night in your fridge or something like that, there are certain food, by the way, Kmart sushi or something like that. I mean, there are certain things that you should be worried about because they can make you sick or your loved ones sick or worse. So, and give you worms and give you all kinds of horrible things that you don't want. So be cautious of your food when it's things that are not a can of beans that have been sitting in your.
Well, okay, so I think sushi is more an exception than a rule, right?
Milk.
Like fresh fish is not likely to have very many expiration dates on it. Like it's supposed to be consumed immediately. So I think that most fish that you get wouldn't even have an expiration date, and this wouldn't be a decision for that. Most expiration dates are for packaged foods, and packaged foods they are being overly cautious, and so it's really. Like when they put expiration dates on there, they're really sell-by dates, not necessarily like the food's going to go bad by now. It's when to remove it off the shelves, not when you can't consume it.
Again, if you don't care about your children, then don't worry about the expiration dates. You know what I mean? That's that easy. Like, do you care about your well-being? Well, then you're going to want to mind the concept that the food can go bad and that the printed labels oftentimes for, like Jared said, Jared's right. There's a lot of foods you don't need. Those Cheez-Its been sitting in your closet for 6 months. You can still eat that Cheez-It probably, but like that doesn't mean you should not. You should live that way all the time with the sushi or the milk or the whatever it may be. There's just certain foods that are very dangerous, and the danger level is so high. I would live my whole life with caution rather than just laissez-faire. Let it be what happens.
Okay. What do you think? One more? Oh, no, we got rebuttals. We got rebuttals.
You have to do your rebuttal.
Oh, right. Okay. So first, the distinction I made between like sell-by being like an expiration is like the expiration dates aren't real, like sell-by dates are. So unanswered. But secondly, if you want to, think about the next generation, like Matt was talking about, then you should think about food waste because that is going to destroy the environment for generations to come. And therefore, food waste is something that you want to avoid. Boom.
I need a triple rebuttal.
You brought up a new argument. I
won't even go there. But talking about eating the food is a whole different thing than looking at it and maybe buying it or all kinds of. You've jumped. You've moved your target a little bit when you're saying like, all right, go ahead. In my mind, you have. Let's move on.
No, you're the one who brought up the children, the next generation.
I brought that up in my first speech, bro.
What? No.
What? We'll see it back on the playback.
What? Say what?
I think I did. I think the people. Hey, let us know in the comments. Didn't I bring that up the first time?
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. I want to maybe I just missed it. I'm not taking notes or anything like that. That's totally dope. Hey, this went pretty well. In fact, I think I might just make some shorts doing this. You know what I mean? Like just have that freaking.
Do it.
Yeah, just have that kind of go. All right, this is how I feel. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. Right?
Tell me I'm wrong. You're wrong.
Me. I dare you. I challenge you.
Well, Jared doesn't care about children, and we had a great podcast today. So I'm glad to have seen you, Tim. We missed Tim. Tim, where's Tim? Did you already say where Tim is?
Oh yeah, he's washing cats.
He's washing cats. That's right. Well, hope that cat is clean. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So Matt and Jared here for DebateSensei. We hope to see you again in the future, everybody. All right.
I hope we're all live tomorrow. Have a good night.
Bye.